Hey everybody, this is Nima.
What's up, dude? Hi, Nima. This is Remy.
I was gonna say, who the hell are you? This is episode 8.
This is episode 6, 7, and 8 all together.
This is episode 8 of our podcast. This is technically should have been episode 9. But
it should have, but we had a technical problem at the sushi bar.
Yeah, we had a technical problem when we were trying to do something new, which is record at a sushi bar.
And one of our brand new mics just took a dump.
Yeah, that was really... So what happened exactly with the mic?
I don't know. I just sent it back. I mean, I told Amazon to send me one like right away. Next day I had a new one.
Did you have to pay for that one?
No.
So they're just like, okay, we'll send you one and then you ship back the old one.
Yeah, I have a month to ship the old one back.
You haven't shipped it back yet?
No.
Dude,
I need to print the label. I won't forget, don't worry. So yeah, hi guys. Welcome back. I was wondering, do you think anybody has subscribed?
If I sign up for that Google Stat service, I should be able to find out, I think. But I feel like that once we sign up, it's going to be kind of a wake up because it's going to give more realistic stats. So it might just drop the number of plays
like
to like
everybody,
2.
like we have 200 views on SoundCloud, but each one of these views is like 7 seconds and someone's saying, oh, man, these guys suck.
Yeah. So I have to think about it because it also requires me to change all these services where they get the RSS feed from, because it basically you send your RSS feed to Google and then Google will give you another RSS feed to give to everybody. And then basically it acts as a middleman. That's how it can track everything.
Yeah.
But also the website looks really shady. It doesn't look Google-ish. But I know it's because Google bought a company.
Oh,
and they haven't actually spent any money on it.
Give it some time and maybe it'll be better.
I don't know. We'll see.
So you had me watch Snowpiercer last night.
Yeah. So this episode is about Snowpiercer, and we're not there yet. But before we get there, I was trying to see if we could.
I just want to get it over with.
It's a great movie, I feel like. But anyway, I was trying to see if we can go a single episode without bringing up Star Wars. But I'm totally going to bring up Star Wars because you know how Sarah and I were talking about what's the biggest movie ever, and we thought The New Hope was. I was just browsing on YouTube or on Reddit, and I found somebody sent a clip of George Lucas a long time ago.
In a galaxy far, far away.
In a galaxy far, far away, where he's still massively overweight. Dude, he said, just making a comment about his Star Wars movies, where he says, you know, nothing will ever beat Titanic. My movies will not make as much money as Titanic. And to this day, he's right. Star Wars has yet to make as much money as Titanic.
I thought Star Wars made super badass money.
It did.
The last one that came out.
It was like 1 something billion. While
Titanic made more?
is like 2.1 billion.
What, on opening
the
season? With DVDs and everything.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, did Star Wars just came out?
I think the biggest... I think that's only movie theater releases. That doesn't include DVD.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Is that how Leo got his like money?
Who?
Leonardo.
How he became rich?
Yeah,
probably. That's how he became like more famous than he ever was before. Highest grossing movie ever is still Avatar, and then it's Titanic.
Avatar?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
I don't understand the world anymore.
Worldwide box office of Avatar is 2.7 billion. He's making, by the way...
I'm shaking my head in disbelief.
James Cameron made an announcement that he's going to make 4 Avatar movies at the same time.
Maybe we'll be like 70 or 80 when they all came out.
It's unbelievable.
Is he going to be like alive long enough to finish them?
Yeah, he's making them all at the same time.
How long ago did that first one come out?
2009.
Okay.
He's taking his time. He hasn't even started on this one yet.
Oh, great.
He's taking his time. But I feel like there was something else I was going to say, but... I don't remember. But don't even... Oh, what did you want to say about X-Files?
I just read down.
Yeah. Oh, I'm starting to take notes as I speak.
I'm super digging X-Files. I remember when I was a young child and
Can you whistle the theme?
I'm sure I can, but I don't want to.
Yeah, you don't want to embarrass yourself.
No, I don't. The theme is pretty awesome, by the way. I heard that it was a mistake that they just ran with. And it's like, oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah,
all right,
it's a composer's wife whistling.
Awesome. No, I remember when I was a kid, it was like what are you doing tonight? Oh, I'm watching X-Files. Ooh, spooky, and now I'm rewatching that. I'm like, that's pretty bad makeup, guys.
Yeah, it's dude. First, I started rewatching it like a while ago, and I couldn't take how low quality it is. So I want to kind of skip some
season
seasons.
3 is starting. I'm just starting to watch season 3 again, and that's starting to get better. But Production, whatever. I'm not impressed at this point.
It's campy,
I'm
but
not
yeah.
impressed with the acting either at this point. Maybe
Mulder's
some
awesome.
of the. Are you serious? No, he's not.
He's still-
Some of the third actors, you know, like not the main actors,
The character actors and
yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
some characters that come up with for one episode or two.
The hacking group is awesome.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. So some of those like secondary characters are pretty good, but Scully and Dana are like whatever. But my point with the whole X-Files thing is like back to a good story. Like the story is awesome.
Is it?
It's huge, dude.
Okay, I'll watch it.
It's like, I mean, the whole government conspiracy with the aliens and
Have you seen
abductions.
Fringe?
Fringe?
I feel like
Fringe.
Fringe is really similar to X-Files, but I haven't
heard
seen
French,
either one of
Fringe, but it's Fringe.
Yeah, it's on the fringe.
Fringe.
Like the fringes of things.
the fringe of your beard.
Okay. So keep going with your love of X-Files.
I'm done with it. That's all I wanted to say. I just love the story so far.
What we can do is we can watch the new series.
Yeah, but I want to watch everything else first. And I know it gets. I've heard many times
gonna
it gets
take
crappy by like
ages.
season 8 and 9. It's
It's
like
take forever.
I know it's taking.
And then Mulder goes away, and then Mulder comes back.
I know, and the Terminator guy,
Yeah.
is the new agent.
Uh huh.
So,
I'll watch it.
Nah, but that's all. I like X-Files. I think it's cool. And that was the podcast for today, guys. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
No, just kidding.
Dude, the Titanic thing I want to mention. It wasn't about the grossing thing
Or the video game.
or the video game. I don't care about that. Which it looks really lame.
You love video game.
It's not a good video game.
I heard the guy.
It's barely an experience.
I heard the guy talking about it on NPR like 2 hours ago, and he was saying that you have the story, and then the Titanic hits the iceberg,
Yeah.
and then you have 2 hours to finish the game.
Yeah, you have the experience. So I feel like that's coming from because it's the anniversary of Titanic. So there's a lot of Titanic things coming up in the news and
that's
people's
why.
attention and things.
Okay.
So there's a couple of VR games that are Titanic based.
That's cool.
Then I assume that's one of the video games.
Probably.
So it was probably a virtual reality game.
Yeah.
But the thing that I saw last week, and I'm really glad that it's gaining popularity. I don't want to say I was definitely not one of the first people that saw it because I remember like the page views. By the time I watched it, it was more than 20,000. So, but it's a Titanic event happening in real time. Mm-hmm. So give it 3 hours or something, 3.5 hours. Mm-hmm. It's fascinating to watch.
Like, so it's a documentary.
Not at all.
What is it again? What are you talking about? A game?
No. It's not even that. It's a God. It's like a really almost low quality, but it
like
still looks nice.
Hardcore Henry on a Titanic.
It's CGI.
That'd be awesome.
The way it's set up, it opens up with it's a shot of the ocean with Titanic moving. It's not meant to be fancy in any way, so don't set your expectations really high. It's a CGI. But it's all one camera movement, and it's following the Titanic for the next 2.5 hours. And the camera will spin around it slowly, like really slowly as it's going through this event. And they have some sound effects. It's really, I would say, it's almost low production quality.
It's more like it's like a recreation of what happened.
And it's basically for you to
boat.
know what happened at what time, like literally by the minute, 11:38.
That's cool. Like what levels got submerged in water.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And also what lifeboats dropped, how many people were in each lifeboat, like when they started losing power, what ships could hear it. It's incredible.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Like it makes you like by the time that it was over, which by the way, the sound effects they added helped because by the time it's over, by the time the ship is sinking, the last part of sinking. Remember how Leo and Kate were on top of the ship? That portion of it, they added the screams of the people and they put a little comment that says, by this point, there's still 1,500 people approximately on the ship, like inside.
When it's like vertical.
When it's going down and it's done. And you realize how big of an event this was. Yeah. Obviously, there's a lot of ships that sink. There's a lot of horrible things that happen. But these people were out in the middle of the ocean, the freezing cold. Mm-hmm. There's barely any ships nearby. It takes like an hour and a half for the next ship to come. It's a great huge story, tragedy, man. By the time it's done, you're feeling it. You're feeling uneasy, and there's no drama about it. There's no act. There's no characters
facts.
even. You're just watching this whole thing happen.
They just submerge you. They submerge you in the story. I like that. Yeah, that makes you.
I feel like if you ever have 2 hours to waste, halfway
never
through
have
it,
2 hours to waste.
I sped it up by twice the speed.
Yeah,
and I got through it, and it's pretty good.
Do they talk like this?
There's no talking. There's literally, you don't hear any
there's
voices.
no talking?
There's no talking, no music.
So it's just all written on the screen?
It's, you see some text pop up, but you're mostly just looking at the visuals of Titanic during this whole thing.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really incredible.
Interesting. Well,
So
might check that out.
Do you want to get Snowpiercer out of the way?
Gosh,
Let's get Snowpiercer out of the
I
way.
liked and did not like that movie. I liked it better than I liked it way better than
Upstream
Color.
Okay, don't
because it was a cool action movie.
It was,
and
it has a very small, like, I know I recommended it to you last night. Which, by the way, we were gonna do this episode about John Wick, and I was so pumped because John Wick is incredible.
It looks like a badass movie. I saw the preview,
but it's not available on streaming.
Do you have it?
I own it.
Where? Online?
On digital. So I have to figure out a way how you can access it.
Yeah, send that to me. Let's make the next episode about this.
Oh, dude, you will love that movie because it's a movie that's not taking itself seriously.
The only thing I didn't like about the preview was like Kenny Reeves.
Why?
He's cool. No, I like him.
You think he's
whatever.
cheesy?
It's just not. I don't.
You don't
I
think
have
he's a good
hard
actor?
time. No, it's not that. I have a hard time seeing him as a hard ass badass guy. But
really?
again, I haven't seen this. I don't know his story in the movie. I don't know anything. The preview action looks great.
Oh, dude. It's. I would say.
So I really
when it
wanna
comes
watch
to
that.
pure action, it's my all-time favorite now.
Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer.
Which is, I guess, the name of the train.
It's a Korean movie. It's not the name of the train.
Oh, it's Korean.
Yes, it's the dude's first English-speaking movie.
Aww.
What?
That was a Yoda impression.
I want to decide if I can say
an Asian
fuck
impression.
on this podcast or not.
You just said it once.
But going forward, anyway, Snowpiercer.
Yeah. Anyway,
You liked it, didn't like
Snowpiercer.
it. What did you like? What didn't you like? Go.
You put me on the spot, man.
Do you want me to ask you questions about it?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll go down the line. Let's not worry about production quality and stuff yet. We'll get into that later. So I'll let you guys guess. Remy is either smoking hookah, drinking soup, or drinking coffee. Guess what it is. And I'll leave comments. But did you like the story? Your thoughts about the story?
I thought the story was pretty cool. It's a cool concept.
Yeah.
I thought the story was so good that they could have made this whole thing like one of them epic trilogies.
Okay. How? Like staying in the same train for 3 movies, you're saying?
Yeah. I would have
Okay.
made the train like freaking 4 times bigger.
Okay.
Like huge tracks, huge compartments.
Okay.
And then I would have shown more of, each of the wagons.
Okay. Like more detail they spend,
Yeah.
the more time they
Because I
should
spent the whole movie trying to figure out, like, okay, how these people go through from this car to this car because they got to go pick up their kids from the school car and then go back and go through the rave car. Like, come
Yeah.
on, like that makes no sense. Also, I would have loved for them to explain, as much as they can using real life technology, how does this never stopping engine work?
I know.
That would be cool.
I agree.
That would have made it that much more real for me. And the reason I thought they could have turned into a trilogy is because the main character, what's his name?
Curtis?
Yeah, Curtis was just
Chris-
Captain America.
Yeah, Chris Evans.
Captain America.
Yeah.
America. Trump, America. Anyways, sorry. I thought that, his story was, by the end of the movie, at the end, he tells what happened to him and that he was a bad guy first eating babies.
God, that
And
scene
then-
totally got to me, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Gosh, it was just poorly executed.
I think for me, that's the only reason I wish they would have fleshed out the story because I would have loved if they started all the way back there so we can see the horribleness that happened.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like they try to convey all this pretty sad stuff, drama, and for me, anyways, I was not able to like tap into that. I was not able to feel anything because it's a big story that they should have taken much longer to do. And because of like how deep it goes back in time, the 18 years on that train, what happened in the beginning, I feel like they should have emphasized on that so that you feel for that guy by the end.
Yeah.
And then the fact at the end, the fact that this guy was right, that Asian guy was right about he's seeing this, every year. I love that, by the way. The train takes a whole year to go around. Yeah. All that is really cool. The idea, the concepts are great. I wish they'd made a bigger story about this.
I think it's probably at that point, it might be just simple budgeting and this guy trying to experiment because the budget is still expensive. It's like 30 million. Mm-hmm. But as far as execution, I agree with you. And I think the story is really big and the message is really heavy handed. Yeah. Like the guy's he's not shy about, he's like, hey, global warming is serious.
Yeah.
And on top of global warming, let's talk about the socioeconomy issues that are in the United States and all over the world, which the train represents the whole society.
The train, also Earth.
Yeah. And
we're all on Earth together. We're all on this train together. Everybody needs to have their place is what the chief of the train is saying.
Yeah, Wilfred.
You're all the way back. You're all the way in the last car and living like a poor person because it's part of the puzzle that makes this work.
Yeah,
which is what those like greedy politicians would tell you.
Yeah, and there's a whole. I don't know how much of it is true. I would like to think, knowing what I know about the way the world works so far, I think it is true. There was a whole drama set piece about once this movie was made, about it coming to US and being put on movie theaters. There was a whole drama piece about it, about the message that it had.
Oh. If this didn't come out in movie theaters here, did it?
It did.
What?
But it came out very small because, and this is a rumor, I don't know how much of it is true at all. If anybody's a fan, maybe they can check, that the corporations that own these movie theaters strongly disagree with the message that this was giving to the masses. So they made
the message?
Well, one of the messages is that like somebody at the head of the train, this Wilfred guy, like imagine that being part of our society. Yeah. The
top 1%.
The top 1%, and not even that, the capitalism, the way our society is set up, the poor versus this is all something that it talks about revolting against it, but then it talks about how you need to have the poor for the whole system to work. Somebody needs to suffer for somebody else to enjoy it. And then there's a guy on YouTube, which I recommend if you ever have time to watch his videos. He does weekly video essays. His name's Nerd Writer, and his pieces are gorgeous. He has a piece about this and how each one of the trains represents a part of society, and how he talks about there's some willful ignorance. Maybe something about what's going on in the train, but you're taking it in a positive way because it's impacting your own class in a positive way, and you're not really taking into effect what's happening in the back. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's what middle class America is, or maybe upper middle class. And then he's talking about how he talks about, I think that the school cart was mostly what most of us know as America. Because we're getting information.
Yeah, I had that feeling. Like it's like, oh, this is what they're feeding us via media.
Exactly.
This is a metaphor for today's media.
And they're not really lying, but they're twisting in a way that makes
By the way,
what?
The teacher.
Yeah, she's from...
Maggie.
Yeah.
It's Maggie from the newsroom. Gosh, I love that show.
Yeah. What did you... Dude, there's so much I want to talk about the story, but...
Go. I feel questions.
Like I really love the story. I really like the fact that he wasn't trying to be shy with the message, about the global warming, which is why he said it in 2014. He didn't want to make it too much in the future. He said this happened in 2014, basically. And then more on top of that, I love the whole revolt story because I feel like eventually in our society, something like that will happen.
But
like there's going to be some sort of revolt by the lower classes against the upper classes. And like
we talked about this last episode.
We did. And that's why I feel like this kind of ties in with that. And the imagery of it that goes from left to right, and you're literally climbing the classes as you go through your revolt till you see things slightly getting better and better and better.
Well, by left to right, you mean bottom to top?
No, in the movie it's left to right. But
right, because it's a train.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. And it's left to right. I understand that's another thing that there's a whole theory and method about why in movies things move from left to right versus right to left. It's about how your mind understands progress versus going backwards.
Is that political?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
It's simply the way, just throughout history and our pop culture and media, we've come to accept that left to right means going a certain way and right to left means going backwards, I think.
Well, yeah, but then you got like the Arabic countries writing from right to left.
No, I agree. It's not. Don't think about it that way.
Okay.
It's thought about in a way that usually, I think I could be totally wrong, that the villain is usually on the right side of the screen looking left, the hero is on the left side of the screen.
And they do that for a reason, a psychological reason.
Yeah, because
interesting.
And this happens in this movie. The hero starts from the left side all the way in the back of the train and moves to the right.
But he's not really a hero.
He's not.
And there's no good or bad guys in this movie. There's only the chick at the end who's like outside and she's not freezing to death. Huh?
The daughter,
yeah. Yona.
I think the hero is probably the Korean. You're right. There's no heroes because everybody is serving their purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, you can clearly say there's some villainous characters, like the security guys who just
And what's up with that one security guy that just like won't die?
Yeah.
What's up with that?
That's what something.
Oh, I get
really
stabbed
cool.
in the stomach 3 times. No problem.
Dude,
guys.
that
I'm
scene
back.
with him and Curtis when they're 6 or 7 carts apart and the train's doing a turn and they're shooting each other through the windows. Physically impossible if you know how weapons operate. You can never be that accurate at all ever, but it's really cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Speaking of how weapons operate, John Wick. Oh, so awesome.
Yeah, we'll watch that, dude. Hopefully next one. You got to find a way to send that to me.
Oh, I will.
It's
if
$15
it comes out,
on
if it comes
Amazon.
out to it, we'll just buy it again.
It was on Netflix like, what, a month ago?
Yeah, and HBO too. But that's the thing. They're making a sequel, so they want DVD sales.
Did it really like do well? John Wick?
Yeah.
Did it come out in movie theaters?
It came out in movie theaters, and it's one of those movies that became bigger once it came to DVD and Netflix and everything.
Yeah, it looks really fancy, badass.
It's so great.
Mm-hmm.
It's so great.
So you heard the whole did you listen to the whole last episode?
I did.
The one that we didn't have a topic for, and we just went on the political rant for half an hour.
I've listened to it on in different sessions. I still need to listen to it wholly because at work I got distracted, so I had to pause it. I feel like I wish we had gone to the political thing sooner because we ramble on for quite a bit before we even get to the politics.
Vampires.
But I was still entertained all the way through it.
Yeah, that's good. I liked it.
You know, I sent that Simcopter, the mic guy, an email asking for if he wants to participate in an interview. And as I was typing it, I was trying to explain why we're doing this and where we're at in the process of doing this podcast.
Uh-huh.
And I told him, I was like, as of right now, even though we have goals and things that we want to meet, our main focus is to make sure you and I are having a good time while we're recording it. Like, as long as you and I are enjoying it, we'll keep coming back doing it every week.
Yeah.
And when listening to the podcast, even if it's an hour and a half, it's like 90 minutes long. I'm still having a good time, not only talking the whole time, but I was totally entertained. God, you are upper echelons of annoying today. Dude, and that's another thing for this podcast. I'm going to make it my goal to learn new vocabulary.
Oh, yeah, dude.
So I have like 3 words that I wrote down today that I want to.
Mm-hmm. Like what? Hibiscus?
Hibiscus. No, it's SN plastic.
What?
SN plastic.
SN plastic? What does that mean?
It's the ability. It's somebody's ability. It's an adjective. It's somebody's ability to put complex, different, diverse ideas, images, theories into one cohesive
sentence.
Not sentence, but to be able to put everything together into one thing.
Oh, like people making movies.
Exactly.
Huh.
Yeah.
What is it again?
SN plastic.
How do you spell that?
Just imagine it's like assemble. Like
assemble. SN plastic?
So,
why plastic?
I don't know. I'll find out the roots of plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. New vocabulary is really important.
Yeah. I don't know if I have anything to say about Snowpiercer before we move on. I think it was great. I really did enjoy it. You didn't. You thought it could have been better.
Oh, I enjoyed it. It was an action-packed movie. I like it.
It didn't have that much action. Oh, can we talk about one scene that I still like orgasm every time I see that scene?
Wow, that's a strong image.
I know. With or without my pants, you can imagine. There's, the scene that they're fighting the security force in that car that has the windows, and they come up to the tunnel. First of all, that whole scene has a whole bunch of slow motion action in it, which is gorgeous.
Oh, the one right before the New Year happens, and then everybody is like, yeah, and then we're gonna go into the dunnel, and we have night vision goggles, and we're gonna
and then during the night vision, like they get slaughtered. The uprising almost gets slaughtered, and oh god, the music and everything in that scene was perfect. And then the main Curtis guy remembers the matches, so he asks for fire, and then the fire message is passed down through the train, and that's epic by itself. So you're like, oh, what's happening? And then they have the fire guy start, and the cool like marching music almost starts.
It was like I
was like, oh, this is so awesome.
They were getting ready to light the Olympic flame.
Exactly.
I did not enjoy it as much as you did.
I love that. Like,
if anything, it killed my erection.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm the type of person that like advertising. If the director's trying to do something and they do that thing well, it works for me.
Yeah.
So I totally got what the director was trying to do, and I got excited.
Well, yeah, you're able to see that better. Like you're able to see more than I do what the directors are trying to do. I'm just trying to. I'm more like main audience when I watch a movie like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love that scene.
It was cool. I can't remember one scene that I really particularly enjoyed in that movie.
What did you think about Tilda Swinton?
Is that one of the actresses?
The lady, imagine Tilda Swinton. Remember the lady that was pretty much throughout the whole movie until she gets killed
by Curtis in the head. Yeah, that was the most interesting part of the movie.
She's a great actress.
Yeah, she was great. She was perfect amount of creepy. I think she was one of those child that was required in the engine room. Yeah, because she knew that whole motion. Because
she did.
Yeah, they do a few things in that movie, like the thing with the hand.
Yeah, the hand
you're
motion.
like, okay, that was weird. And then only once at the very end of the movie, it explains what that is. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Like a lot of cool small ideas like this that could have been done better, but
they drop. Yeah, that's the thing. They drop hints about smaller things being bigger, like the fact that how they show the seven, the rebellion of the seven.
Oh yeah, that was really cool actually.
The rebellion of the seven. You know how the Korean guy is talking about the leader of the rebellion of seven.
Yeah,
that was his wife. That's the girl's mother. Like those are cool little things. Or the fact that the Korean guy keeps looking outside and starts seeing hints and different things about how the world. Yeah, the plane, or the fact that he maybe sees water in the distance. Like those are cool things. Like they don't.
I wish they had emphasized that kind of stuff more instead of like. I feel like they had room to emphasize these things better and more to make the ending more dramatic and more badass when she actually comes out of the train that's crashed and everybody else died somehow.
Yeah.
I wish they had sacrificed some of the action scenes just for this.
I
the
get
whole
that.
when like the scene you described earlier, that the train's going on the loop and the two main the good and the bad guys are like shooting through the windows. That took way too long, man.
Oh yeah, because they empty the whole clip and they don't shoot quickly, so they're shooting slowly and then reload and do it
taking
again.
cover, taking a little breathe. Ooh, that was close. Let's reload. No, just poor time. I mean, again,
like
who am
I
I to say this stuff?
No, I get it. You're saying like even
I feel bad saying like I feel bad criticizing, but
they could have even edited that scene to make it shorter to allow room for other things. I get it. I get it.
Like I would have loved to learn more about the father and daughter story.
Yes,
and their mother. Like
I agree.
They should have expanded on that. Also, it seems that the girl Yona and that one guy that wouldn't die, the guy wearing the suit.
Yeah.
The same guy that's shooting through the window.
Yeah.
They have a connection because every time they see each other, the directors like purposely like showed their eyes looking at each other in town, like they know each other or they have a past, like something, and they never explained that, right?
I think it's more about the girl. It's more about, you're talking about the daughter, the young girl. The idea is, and this is something the filmmakers again mentioned after the whole movie was made. They didn't mention at all in the movie itself. They drop hints about it, is the fact that since she was born in a train, any kid that's born in a train, simply because they grew up in that atmosphere and then in the environment, which is the train as it's going through the world, they develop abilities like
clairvoyant.
Not clairvoyant. It's probably, they mention clairvoyant.
She is.
But no, she has just incredible hearing. That's what they say. Like when you're growing up in the train, you get animal-like hearing.
Yeah, but
so that's what it is.
When did they explain that?
They don't.
Then
at all.
How do you know?
Because no, they explain it like they explain it in interviews and stuff after the movie was done.
All right.
That's why she comes off as clairvoyant, is because she can hear what's outside the.
Right, but what does that explain her
I think
apparent connection with that bad guy?
I think it's just they're showing emphasis on the fact that she, like for example, when the sauna door opens and she's on the other side of the fat lady that's sitting inside, and they see they're showing emphasis on her because she was expecting this to happen. She knew he was going to come open the door. I feel like that's what it is. Just what I'm thinking.
There is a past between them that I would like to know more about.
Well, she was in prison too.
Oh yeah, that's right. They were both in prison with her.
Such a weird prison system, by the way.
I know.
I'm kind of over talking about this.
Yeah, it was all right.
It was
like
all right.
I again, back to me saying again one more time, feel like the story is great and they could have really pushed it to make it a badass trilogy of some sort, like a badass trilogy where the whole story that we just saw in the hour and a half movie. Could have been like dragged out for like a few episodes. They should have made a show out of this.
I was gonna say a small show.
Yeah,
that I agree with. 100%.
That would be cool, like a 24-hour type show.
Yeah,
24. which I watched season 1 of that when it came out.
God damn it. We made it all the way up to 199, which is something that we shouldn't care about at all. But
wait, what now?
We have 199 plays. I
Oh,
kind of want to just give one more. So,
by the way, you should start uploading them as soon as possible every time.
Why?
Once we get 1 subscriber,
we have subscribers.
What? Who?
You don't know who they are. Do you want them to give your name?
No.
You have at least 2 subscribers, me and my brother. We have a lot more. Because just imagine, we're getting roughly at least 10 plays every one, right? Like at the bare minimum, we have 10 plays for every track. That means 10 people are automatically downloading them at least.
How do you know that?
So, because it's happening. Even if they don't listen to it, we know.
How do you know it's the same people?
Well, at least 2 of them are.
Yeah, 2 of them, not 10.
So that's what I'm saying. You have at least 2 subscribers. There's a lot more, I think. By a lot.
So that's why you want to keep going weekly.
Not weekly. At least give it 4 or 5 days because I don't want to. I don't want to imagine if it's me. I don't want to wake up and see 2 or 3 different podcasts from the same people on my queue that I haven't even finished listening to the last one. Like here, look at mine. Like this is my podcast queue. I don't want this thing to be filled up with us.
But it won't because we're only doing like 1 or 2 a week.
That's what I'm saying. As long as we keep it 4 days.
Yeah, okay, then that's fine.
4 to 5 days.
Fine. I'm down for that. I don't want one every day. I'm just saying we've been recording ourselves more than once a week, like probably 1 1/3 on average. Every week. So
yeah, so I'm down with that as long as it's spaced out far enough. It doesn't need to be 1 a week, but yeah, I'm okay with that.
All right. So
I can't even express how bummed I am that we couldn't be doing this about John Wick, but it's okay.
Yeah, I know. I would have loved to see that.
I want to send a negative feedback to Netflix, Amazon, and HBO, but it's okay. People got to make their money.
What was I going to ask you about? Like, I saw that you posted. Oh, you posted the last one on Instagram.
I did,
dude. So on Twitter, I can only use like 100-something characters.
They're gonna change that soon.
But on Instagram, you can put a lot more. So you should hashtag the shit out of that stuff.
I know. But
more.
One of the things I want to focus
take all
on,
the ones I've put on the Twitter and just copy paste them and then add some.
I will. But one of the things I want to focus on is simply getting more people, more followers.
Yeah.
That way, more people. Because right now, we have 11 followers. That's not bad.
On what?
On Instagram.
Nice.
And maybe figure out a way to get followers on
Twitter.
I
don't know. Yeah, that's weird. I was expecting some already, but I think Twitter has become like a tighter niche. I think it's I don't think it's really open to new things.
Dude, you would not believe that I completely just ignored you. What?
Yeah, it's all right. I'm used to it.
Yeah, I was doing a
story
of
my life.
No, it's not. You get 100% of my attention. What? What did you say? What about used to something?
I don't know if Twitter is a good platform. I don't know how to get in. I thought we'd get a few views by now, or clicks or subscriptions or likes or whatever they call it in the Twitter world.
So, and here's another way that I know we're getting subscriptions, which is makes it so sad because I'm dropping the ball big time. You know how we're uploading the things on the website?
Yeah,
people are subscribing on the website. I haven't set up the backend system.
What does that mean? They're never.
I don't think so.
Why are they? Okay, why? How did they find it? How did they find it on the website?
Like the website's not getting don't think we're getting that many views on the website at all. But maybe again, 2 or 3 a week. But then people are getting there, right?
Well, how are they getting there?
I'll find out for you.
Right.
I think I can do some tracking to find out how they're getting there. But as I was building the podcast blog page, I was just adding things to make it look busy enough or interesting, so it's not just a white background and everything. So one of the things I added was, hey, do you want to subscribe? Put in your email address here. I was talking to Ali. I was like, hey, people are signing up. I was like, the RSS feed's not set up. They're not going to get anything. So
can't you link that to iTunes?
Sorry.
Can't you link that up?
What do you mean? Link what part of it up?
The RSS feed from the website on iTunes?
Yeah.
Or what, somewhere? So that they get it from somewhere. Can't you take their information and make
That's
it work?
One of the things I have to find out is this is really sad. I don't know where their information is going.
That is not good. You need to figure this out.
I know.
That's not
so
cool.
it's going to one of our email addresses. For Steadio, we have a lot, so I'll find out where it's going, and then we'll fix it and figure something out.
Yeah. Have you paid attention to politics like
What do you mean?
The past week since last time we talked about it?
Yeah, yesterday was a huge election.
Yeah.
And it, again, just like Arizona, like, shit.
1 minute. 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 1 Well, what went? Like the polls totally predicted this.
The polls, like if you trust the math, polls are almost 99% of the time right.
Yeah.
Like she won. He still got some delegates, but he lost. As of right now, I think realistically he's done. He cannot become the
he's
nominee.
probably done.
Trump won a huge deal because he's from New York.
Yeah.
He lost Manhattan though, which is really interesting.
Really?
Yeah. So the city that most people know as New York, he lost.
Yeah. Where his building is at.
Yeah, and he's like, the people that know me the best are going to vote for me.
Someone out there, a group of people should go out and TP his whole building.
No,
don't. Be awesome.
I don't want this to become a thing that they can point fingers at us. Like they're doing bad enough as it is.
Don't do that. I was just kidding, guys.
No, not at us as you and me, or I meant
we're on the news like this new podcast by Remy and Ima
is provoking violence. To the one or two listeners that we have, we're asking them to revolt. This is going to be the smallest revolution ever. I think the funny thing is Trump is toning down his message, just like everybody predicted.
Is he?
Yeah. Everybody predicted that he was saying the bullshit that he was saying to get popularity, to get wins. And
do you think now he's actually going to show us what he's got as far as like being a politician?
I think he's going to start being more.
Yeah,
he's going to start being more like a politician.
He has to, right?
Yeah, and he is. Like he started. Like one of the things that people noticed is that last night when he was giving his victory speeches, he didn't do any name calling. He called everybody by their official position and their official name.
Interesting.
Yeah, he was like Governor Kasich. He was like Senator Cruz, which he
because
usually
he wants
called.
To start. So he already got the heart of the people that like him. Like
correct.
I don't want to.
He's starting to come back to the middle if he can.
Well, I think he's just trying to show the rest of the people, the higher class people, that I can act like a civilized person too.
Yeah, but I feel like if you say the kind of things that he has said and the messages,
Trump he's smart.
Of course,
to get where he is, he's borderline genius if you ask me.
Correct, but he also
doesn't mean that. I mean, Hitler was also a fucking genius.
I agree.
So
it's crazy to me that some people will think that message is offensive if you say Hitler is smart. Hitler was smart. He was a
How do you get to almost world domination if you're not smart?
He was a
smart
powerful
guy.
leader for what he wanted to do.
And Trump is smart because he got that far away, and he might win, and that's because he's smart and he played it right.
I don't think. The more I learn about politics, the more I feel comfortable that he's not going to win unless simply popularity is enough for you to get wins. Which I don't think it is.
Isn't it the delegate? I mean, he's probably gonna get all the delegates he needs.
Well, he lost Colorado and another state, and he complained about it. He whined about it because he said those states didn't vote, and it shouldn't be done that way. Blah blah blah. That's how the system works. That's how this is not a pure democracy. We have a republic. The parties get to decide, how the nominating process works. So that by itself tells you he doesn't know anything about politics. If you knew about politics, you would have been like, all right, I'm going to hire some people in Colorado to have a ground game going so we can get nominees even if there's no elections.
Right.
So he has, generally speaking, the worst ground game out of any politician that's running. Like it's not even an exaggeration.
What do you mean?
Really
what do you mean by ground game then? I don't think I understand that term.
There's a nationwide campaign that he's running, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he can't simply be in every state. So he needs to hire people within each state to run that campaign for him, to hire volunteers at that level.
To what? To get people to vote for him so that the delegate counts goes up.
Correct. Not
but
even the vote.
He's been doing great with all that.
No, he's not. The ones that he's getting are simply because of popularity. Is because
isn't that what it is?
Like everybody else is
I don't
working
understand.
on imagine this way. He's saying crazy things, right? He's saying crazy things. Those crazy things are getting him media coverage. The media coverage is growing his angry, nationalist base,
right,
to the point that the Trump name becomes popular enough that there's not that many people volunteering for him saying, hey, go out and vote for Trump, because those crazy people, he's gained the popularity that they're going to go out vote for Trump anyway. So because of what's happening in the news, what they know about this whole racist thing that he has going on, the whole sexist thing that he has going on, that's enough for him to go get votes. Like his name's becoming popular enough with his message to go get votes. It's like everybody else is running a campaign. Like in Utah and Colorado, he complained that he lost. That's because he doesn't understand the politics. Everybody else is running the campaign, so they hired people to go in Colorado, door to door knock, call, pass the message along, like go to the conventions for each state, work the people to get delegates. He doesn't understand that. He didn't hire anybody fast enough.
I'm sure he does.
No,
I
he
just
doesn't.
don't think he cares.
No, if he did, why? No politician would ever want to lose a state.
But he's freaking winning right now.
He's winning based on popularity. He's winning because his name's famous at this point.
Yes, but he just figured out that would probably play in his favor.
Yeah, but he's also learning that he can lose states if he doesn't actually do the work. That's why he lost Colorado. And he complained. He's still bitching to this day, saying that's not how democracy works. Nobody voted. I lost. Why? If you're a winner, if you don't have your shit together, you would not complain like this. So he lost.
Right. He's a big baby. I agree with that.
He lost because he doesn't understand the game. He doesn't understand the rules. Like,
I think he's saying the rules should be changed.
Everybody agrees, but as of right now, you have to play by those rules. So the fact that he's not winning as many states as he wanted to shows you that he doesn't understand the politics of it. Maybe, hopefully, he'll again in California, which is coming up, huge state.
Right, that's huge.
They're saying he's doing like his ground game is atrocious there.
So he's probably not going to win that state.
We don't know.
But again, he's against freaking Cruz, man.
You're too crazy, man. Like I don't know what to tell you.
Nuts.
Like
it just makes me laugh every time I watch Cruz talk. I just want to giggle. I'm like, wow,
dude. One of them is working uneducated people to feel like he's a nationalist. It's going to kick out anybody that's not a white American and going to treat black people awfully. So they're going to go vote for him because realistically, Trump's not going to do that. He simply can't do that as a leader of a country.
Yeah, he can't. There's everything he's saying. He can't do it.
All right. And the other one is Cruz, who doesn't believe in science, still treats like homosexuals awfully. Yeah. He's completely against the movement of Constitution. So like, honestly, like, even if I'm a Democrat, which means I would want the Republicans to lose as often as possible and as big as possible in every race, I'm sad for the party because the party's falling apart. Like the Republican,
yeah. Well,
like they don't, like they need to get their shit together. Like
they won't.
They need to. Like
it's not even that. It's like times are changing. People are changing. The millennials, is that what
millennials?
The millennials are they're roaming around. They're ruling everything, and you got to appeal to them. And like the Republicans with their old ideas. Sure, I understand that 4 years ago these ideas were great, and the greatness of America came from those ideas. But it's time to change things because people have changed.
Yeah.
So let's move on. Like they have to like let go of the past and look towards the future with their ideas and everything.
It's funny because they lost to Obama, right? They lost to Obama twice. So they said basically in order for us to get the presidential election again, we need to change our ways. We need to
they've been saying that for like 8 years now.
So they have been. They're like, you know what?
Have they? Then if they have, why is Cruz like?
That's the thing.
Cruz
Cruz and Trump are both outsiders. Like up until the presidential election, Cruz was hated in the Senate because he shut down the government once. Like, think about it. Like, we have a guy that's running for president.
he's like super far right, right?
He's super insanely right.
What's the word?
He's a Tea Party. He's a Tea Party.
So the Republican Party's been saying we got to change things, and this guy's like, no, we don't want to change things. Let's go even further than what we've been doing. Why?
So they've been saying, hey, we need to bring the Latinas in. We need to bring young people in. The party's like, we need to win. This is what we need to get the win, right? And then the two front runners for a presidential election don't care about that shit. They're like, you know what? Fuck it. We're still going to exclude black people. We're going to exclude women. We're going to exclude Latinas. And let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
It's insane to me.
There's got to be a lot of white men in here.
There's got to be a lot of uneducated white men that will, vote for me. It's so sad. Like, and people get offended when they find out Trump supporters are less educated than any other supporter. Like, are you shocked? Like,
I heard that once. I was not shocked. I wasn't shocked that our state was mainly Trump. I want to talk about Clinton. What do you think of her?
I don't like the fact that she's supported by big money. I really don't. But she will get my vote if she's a nominee. But again,
is she really, or is it just like it's propaganda against her?
No, she's taking quite a bit of money from big money.
Yeah. But it's not what Obama did.
That's what I'm saying. That's politics. That's her playing the game.
Right.
But at the same time,
that's one of the things in the rules that have to change.
Correct.
Because I'm not okay with that.
Nobody is. And I hope we get to a system that the politicians all get equal, but enough money to do a campaign that's well enough, but don't need to get donations from big companies.
It sucks. It sucks. Being a politician, it's just like selling a product.
Yeah.
It's the people with the most money, with the smartest marketing team who are going to win.
Yeah.
Who get the
Supreme Court sided with them. The Supreme Court said money is speech. No, that's everybody, pretty much agrees that's one of the worst decisions.
Capitalism.
Yeah. So basically,
it means, like I said last episode, it's a money-driven everything in this place.
Hopefully, the Supreme Court will turn that back. But that was a recent decision. That was like no older than 10 years ago, like maybe 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah,
that
it was before the second time Obama got elected.
Yeah.
But
so
again,
the thing is,
he used that whole thing to get elected.
And as much as like she's changed her mind on a lot of things after they became popular, like gay marriage and things like that. I'm okay as long as she's on our side. Like, as long as she no, I'm saying as long as she switches to the right side of history, that means the voters are able to get her to mold into what the voters want. I'm okay with that, because if she's not molding to the wrong side of the history, like as long as she's not molding to be like way anti-gay marriage.
Gotcha.
Like
she is changing her mind on a lot of issues.
Yeah.
But at least she's following the main.
Correct. She's changing mind to the right thing as opposed to the wrong thing.
To what we think is the right thing, because it's all about perspective.
Yeah, but equal rights for everybody. That's the right thing.
I know it makes perfect sense, but some people will argue otherwise.
Yeah, those people don't matter anymore.
Yeah,
those people lost the civil war in the U.S. and they need to get over it.
Did you hear about?
I don't know. Go ahead.
You were going to say something.
No, I'm just saying it makes me so disgusted that in our state I still see, pardon my language, douchebags with giant trucks with huge Confederate flags.
Yeah.
Like I'm not talking about tiny stickers, like giant flags on the back of their truck flying around.
I know.
Go ahead. Well, what did I hear?
They're losers. I agree with you on that. Guys, I don't like stickers on cars anyways.
I agree.
It's like, you want to shine, you want to tell the world you like this or that. In their case, they want to show the world they're racists. Or, maybe they're not, because they would tell you like, no, I'm not racist. I just like this flag. I'm like, okay, well, conversation's over. See you later. No, well, same about racism. Like, what do you think those people are going to think about today's announcement that they're going to put a black woman that was a former slave on the $20 bill?
I'm curious, because I found out about it while I was at work. So I have to read up on it
she escaped. Okay.
Yeah.
And by the way, she's replacing
Jackson. Is it Jackson?
I don't know, but he was a slave owner. That's
so Jackson, I think. Yeah. Let me see.
And her story, the reason why they picked her is because of her story, which was, she escaped, and then she kept coming back, risking her life to free her friends and family members. And she did that like 13 times is what they said. And so she's going to be on the $20 bill. Like, what are these people going to do about that? They're going to be
There's
so pissed.
There's going to be more women. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, sure. But they're going to look at the bills like, oh man, there's a black woman on my bill. Like some of the racist people, are they just going to... I know. I think that's funny because it's a $20 bill. They can't throw it away. So I'm like,
they're going to. They're going to deface it and they're going to act like they're doing
so dumb.
I know. Like, how long do you think it will take for that part of America to either die out or change their mind?
It's going to die out.
When?
They're not going to change their mind. It's after a few more generations. Like, it's going to happen. Like some of these people are going to, like, slowly, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like through generations, they'll have kids, like one of their 8 kids might look the other way and be like, no, you guys are wrong. I'm going to go hang out with all this melting pot area, because that's more what, we're all on earth for. It's all about education. Like, look, we're on this freaking planet. Why are we fighting? Why do you hate your neighbor, even if it's really far? But is it really far when the solar system is huge?
Correct. Like, we have mindless borders that are completely fabricated by us, and somehow
lines in the sand, dude.
Yeah. Then they were like, hey, if you're on the other side, I'm going to hate you. Like, why?
That comes from like a deep-rooted instinct of survival.
But we don't need to worry about that. If we work together, think about how great the space program is.
I know.
Space program has no politics. And it's so great.
There's bad. No, I heard something today, like about the Chinese space.
They're not participating.
No, because it's government. It's military run, and they're afraid that if they work with other people. Yeah. The other countries will know their military secrets and stuff. And so it's not even that. That's not.
But I mean, like, imagine Russia and US are not, they don't always see eye to eye.
No, but even on space, they're collaborating.
They're totally fine. Yeah. That's so great though. That shows the example of that's even as dumb as uneducated as I am, I know how important science is. So if we always put science first, it will magically always bring people together.
Because science is about discovering what is in the atom, like what is so small you can't see it, and what is out there in the universe.
Correct.
Like we're in the middle of this. Like we can go discover what's up there and what's down here, and that's beautiful because then we make sense of our world. And even though as we discover more things, our world becomes crazier and deeper and bigger and bigger, and there's more and more questions every time we do that. And I bet that's the argument of some of these like anti-science people who are like, why do you waste your time? It's always gonna end up giving you can answer one question because of that you're gonna have 10 more questions to answer.
That's the best thing about it. That's what I love about this, even our podcast. But the thing is, like, science I feel like is the quickest way for you to learn how insignificant not only you are, but our own conflicts and squads are with each other. So that should be enough. Like, spend a whole day understanding space or understanding even our ocean.
Yeah, but how many schools are teaching, the Bible stories and teaching their kids that dinosaurs didn't exist? That was a fabrication. Well, they don't even talk about dinosaurs. They're forbidden to.
Correct.
Or some teachers themselves are like, no, this BS.
Yeah.
And you know what? Just show some kids like that we're on this marble floating in nowhere. And that's
the thing. Like, once you explain as much about science or space, if you try to explain space to them and open up that discussion, how can you not be fascinated by it?
I don't know. Do you think people are making sure that doesn't happen because they think that if the youth start realizing we live on this like speck of dust, it's gonna get crazy and anything goes? Because the minute you realize that, okay, my life is pretty much insignificant. I'm infinitely small, and therefore I might not even exist in the grand scheme of things. Then anything goes. Then I can do anything, and that's okay.
Correct. And here's the thing:
they're scared of that.
This is perfect. Snowpiercer even talks about that because they talk about how the upper class and the controlling class and the group of people, they control the lower class by controlling what they get educated on and what they see. Because if you open up the education system to what really matters, it will completely unravel everything we have going on,
break
including
the whole
capitalism.
system.
Yeah. Because once you understand education, once you understand what us as a group can achieve and what the universe could possibly stand for.
Once you understand that there's so much more to understand.
Correct. It makes money go away. It makes social classes go away. It makes even jobs for pointless shit go away.
But then it could also bring bad shit.
Yeah, but the universe includes bad shit. It includes,
but
the bad shit is not evil.
It will bring chaos because some people are going to look at that and be like, okay, well, if nothing matters, I'm going to shoot this guy right there.
Yeah,
and that's okay, I guess. Even though it's not, because you shouldn't kill someone. And again, that's a rule written in the Bible. But at the same time, like, I agree with that.
No, everybody agrees that you shouldn't kill somebody else.
It would become survival of the fittest.
Correct. And that
fittest person is going to be able to do whatever they want. But if money goes away,
percentage. That's a small percentage, because with the advancements of technology and the society's norms, we've kind of been able to stop evolution from speeding up and going on as much as it needs to. Like, survival of the fittest has more or less gone away in humanity, because we let governments take care of that by going to war with each other or treating the poor shitty, so the poor get shorter lifespans. But between you and I, we don't have to really worry about that. Like, between individuals, we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
So I feel like if we open up those boundaries and start focusing on science and nature and each other and progressing humanity and progressing the universe, because there's so many things that we don't know that could be completely changing things, it's going to bring back those things. Maybe getting rid of the socio-norms is going to bring back maybe some awful people killing other awful people, like some sociopaths going on a rampage.
Sure.
But also, I feel like, and I hope it would mean that through a couple of generations we get rid of those people, because it's my hope, like a utopian dream, that once we get rid of those, the normal people take over.
That's a dream, man. Like, once you remove these boundaries, and once everybody understands that we mean nothing living on Earth here, then anything goes.
Correct.
Anything goes, and you cannot tell someone, no, what you want to do is wrong.
But do you think if the boundaries fall, do you think we're going to go to a dystopian future where everything's gloom and awful and horrible things happen, or are we going to go to a utopian future where we have positive things and progress and science and togetherness and all those things? I want to hope for the other. I want to hope for the latter, that we're going to go
the latter would be great. But then again, like, in order to make that happen, as the kids growing up and are going to school, you're going to teach them one thing only. You're going to teach them, like, this is how society works because it's utopic and it's awesome. Everybody's happy. But some kids are going to be like, no, fuck that.
I've been saying utopia wrong. I've been saying utopia.
It's utopia.
Utopia.
There's always going to be... No, there is.
Show them both sides. Because I feel like if you show me both sides...
I truly hope that... within your idea right now, I truly wish that every child born gets an education that shows him love and just love and the fact that life is beautiful and it's a miracle in its own. And I really hope that's what it would happen.
Not even that. Like, we have history classes that don't talk about how racist Jackson was. We don't talk about like the true meaning behind our Civil War, or how lynchings were continuing until the 1950s. That white people and black people couldn't get married until the Supreme Court of all things had to get involved. Like I feel like if you talk about the negative things that we've done, it will teach you not to repeat it. But since we don't want to emphasize that, we want to almost push under the rug saying that never happened.
Taboo.
Yeah, is now what we have the issue that we have with Trump, because we pushed under the rug for so long that people forgot the fact that we made this mistake already once. Like, and Europe made it with Hitler, because let's not forget, Hitler got elected.
Yeah. It's just, that utopic place, Earth, utopic Earth, where everybody gets along and we're all freaking vegans and there's no bad gases emitted from us, and that's great, but I don't think Earth is ever going to see that.
No, Earth might see that, but humanity won't, because people forget, even with global warming, the Earth will survive. Earth will be here, but we've destroyed it for us. Right. So there might be a way to slow down the progress for this destruction. It's still going to get destroyed. We've already crossed that point.
Yeah, I think we might just, like, our bodies, our physical form will probably evolve with it. I think we need to go somewhere else. Unless it's too drastic of a change and it happens too quickly, and that doesn't give us time to evolve into, evolve or finding the right places to live in. Like, I mean... Gosh, like this.
We need to go somewhere else. We absolutely need to. Well, like Interstellar, the movie that you love, was more or less right about that message. Stephen Hawking agrees. Most scientists, like just like global warming, they agree. Like, we need to go. Like
that should be one of our priorities. But you know what? That would be great, because if we start like making science and emphasizing science, then I mean, as we learn about space, we'll learn how to travel more.
Like, it needs to be a huge priority. Like as gloom as it sounds, I 100% believe that we've gone too far to be able to stay on Earth.
Yeah, but again, same. Like we talked about us looking at the universe, the sky on top of us, and we're like, okay, there's so much we haven't discovered. The same applies to our life here in the atoms and the molecules, atoms and nuclear, you keep going smaller in that, and who knows, maybe someone's going to find a way to like reverse something via chemistry. That's totally possible.
It's absolutely possible.
I'm not throwing that away, but again, that's another reason why science should be priority. And then educate the kids about how good it is and how it's going to be like it should be. I mean, again, who are we to say that it should be the way of the future?
What else should be the way of the future?
You're right. What else should be?
Because it can't be religion.
Can't be religion.
And it can't be capitalism. So
obviously that doesn't work now. Dude, but again, capitalism only exists because people want their sense of individualism.
Yeah, they want to beat somebody else. If for capitalism to exist, somebody has to lose.
Well, I don't believe it's about it. Some of it is probably about competition, like to be the alpha guy that has their business more successful than someone else and make more money and drive the nicer car and stuff. That's fine. If you want to live in that life of a life, then that's your problem. But I don't know what I was going with this. But
I'm sorry.
The capitalism, it's not about competition. I think it's about like individualism. Like,
but individualism is, I think that's what it is. For you to want to be participating in capitalism and want to say, I want to succeed. I want to get more and more and more.
I guess
when you're looking at the actual mathematical education and like mathematical equation of you succeeding, that means on the other side of the equal sign,
someone's losing.
Somebody's losing. Yeah. Somebody has to get less and less and less.
Yeah. So where is the balance? Where is the right line where everybody should be
capitalism.
standing?
Get rid of it. Like, at what point are we going to wake up as humanity and be like, you know what? Maybe having so much money and power is not the main goal.
Okay, what's the system in like a place like India? It's not capitalism.
Dude, I don't think anywhere in the world, unless you're living
there's
as a nomad,
always a super rich and a super poor.
Corruption.
So it's not
exists.
about. Yeah, it's not capitalism. It's like corruption.
Like, I think even Churchill said democracy is the worst form of government after everybody else. Like, nothing is like, and you can say the quickest way for you to talk to convince me or something along the lines, like the quickest way for you to know, I think Churchill, to know how bad democracy is a 5-minute conversation with an average voter. Like, like the systems, every system we have currently doesn't work.
There's no one system that will work. Though.
Communism doesn't work. Socialism as a whole doesn't work.
But what's the system that makes the biggest percentage of happy people within a system?
I think democratic socialism, but that still includes corruption.
Yeah, I know, but if the percentage of happy people is more than the other forms of systems, then it's the best that we can come up with.
Yeah, that's why European countries and Canada are happier, because if you progress enough as a society that you have enough money and resources to take care of your own society and choose to have that system going, people are happy. But they always compare it to countries like Venezuela and like third world countries or developing countries that are still poor and like, oh, look at it, socialism doesn't work. Socialism works if your country has the capacity to support it, like we do.
By capacity, I mean resources.
Resources, yeah.
That's like what, oil in the ground,
oil, jobs, people, education. Like, I feel like education is a huge resource. So if your country spends enough money on education, that means more people are going to work, more people are going to push the. Raise the bar for your country.
Well, again, then if in this ideal world of science, then people would get jobs in the science field in order to advance. But you still have to. I mean, still have to make food. You still have to like lodge these people.
Correct, but that also comes down to, you mentioned science and people getting jobs in science. I think one of the problems that we have, at least within U.S., and I think it might be it's not worldwide, because some countries have the exact opposite. Within U.S., we need to somehow encourage diversity in science and in the work atmosphere. Like, science is still, and technology is still heavily slanted towards men.
You think so?
Oh yeah, it's for a fact.
Yeah, but some of the greatest, like, smartest minds are women, even in today's world.
I think it's equally between the two. Men and women are different, and that's a good thing. And we need to have equal representation on both. Right. And I'm not saying 50-50 in every single possible way, but get it more. Like it's sad that Facebook still has a problem with women. It's sad that our engineering degrees are still going towards more men that are getting into, engineering and science things. But that's also because our society teaches women and teaches, that men do these things.
I'm not worried about this. I'm not worried about this because, up until maybe 20, 30 years ago, it was like a man-driven world.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's right. That's wrong.
Yeah.
But now the women are finally like showing the rest of the world like, hey, time to change. And I don't really care for it right now because I know it's happening. But I understand it's going to take a few generations to be completely equal.
But you heard today.
In the meantime, I hate saying that, but like I have a problem like always having like feminism on the radio, on TV. Like, yeah, I get it. It's good. Like,
no, feminism, like when it's feminism can have a really negative side effect. And that's what I was telling your wife
I know.
too, is you can't have feminism at the expense of other people's rights.
No. Oh yeah. No, she knows that. She knows that. And I haven't really heard that much bad feminism.
I hear it a lot.
I don't.
But I'm not saying, I think as a whole, as a movement, feminism is a great thing.
Yeah,
and we should all support it. But I think then they have fringes again as well that are just insane.
I feel like they just like any other political thing, some people exaggerate it, and that's annoying.
Yeah. did you hear today? I think on NPR they mentioned a couple times. I heard in the morning and the afternoon that they released life expectancy reports.
Yeah.
And women's life expectancy dropped by white women. I think dropped by 1 month, and black males increased by 6 months. And when you look at the numbers, it's really sad why the white women's numbers dropped.
Why is it?
Alcoholism, overdose, and suicide.
Yeah. Messed up.
Which talks about one of the things that was on the way here. Actually, they were talking about how when you look at that, when you compare the two, black men versus white women, their life expectancy dropping and increasing. It has to do with, again, their individual outlooks on lives. The black men might have come to an understanding of what they should expect out of life, or maybe their outlook is becoming more and more positive as the generations go on, as the years go on, while the white women are realizing that let's call it the American dream, but it's not the American dream. Whatever that is, may not be as true. Yeah. You may not get the job that you want. You may not get the happiness that you want. So they're going towards a more depressed state later in life. So they're this person put it brilliantly, they're either killing themselves slowly or they're killing themselves quicker. So they're either committing suicide or alcoholism. Not overall. I'm not saying women as a whole are,
I know,
but that's why the life expectancy is dropping.
That's really sad. But
those are the things we need to pay attention to.
But I mean, gosh, I feel like saying like people are accountable for going out there and figuring out early on in their lives that any ideas you might have of how your life is going to go, you take all that and throw it in the trash, because life is going to throw shit your way that are unexpected, and you need to be okay with that. So you need to really live in the present moment and be happy now, because you don't know what's happening tomorrow. And I mean, that's fucking logic, right? Am I wrong saying that?
No, not at all.
And I wish more people understood that. It took me years to I'm 31. I'm literally figuring this out over the past year or two. That, oh man, why do I have to be stressed and depressed about my life not going the way I've been wanting it to go the past 10, 15 years since I'm a teenager? And guess what? I'm happier nowadays.
Yeah.
I'm doing stuff like this.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I agree.
I had an idea what you were talking about, the same thing. I heard about the whole
So what you're saying is that you weren't paying attention to what I was saying?
Not at all.
This relationship is great. What
it's over, Nima. It's over.
What was your idea?
We should we both listen to NPR a lot.
Yeah.
We should always touch up on what we heard that week on NPR.
Yeah. That's why I have the thing in our agenda structure thing. What's a cool thing you heard this week?
I like that. I like that.
You know what's great about this episode?
Because that's going to give us so much gosh, like topics, so many topics per episode. What you heard about this week? Oh, this and that.
Yeah, that's the thing. I teach you about shit, you teach me about shit, and that's going to be great. But what's great about this week's episode is we had a movie to talk about, and somehow the whole episode's overarching theme still had to do with that fucking movie. So air high five on that one. That's so awesome. I'm impressed.
Do you want to do anything else special next week? Like anything in particular you want to John Wick?
Well, I can tell you, John Wick does not have a deep message. It's just a badass movie. So don't. But we'll figure it out, because I think we're getting to the point that we're not going to spend the whole episode talking about the movie specifically.
Yeah, no,
that's so great.
I know. I
awesome.
like these conversations about everything, and it's so much better.
But the thing is, if you're looking at just simply maybe these false play numbers that we're getting, the listen numbers, if we rant, we have lower listeners. But I don't care.
If we rant,
if we're ranting and rumbling.
Like last episode?
Yeah.
Last episode came out a few days ago.
That's true. But I think the
hashtags is what's gonna save us, right?
Yeah, and then later posting it. I love the fact that Sense8 is getting a revival.
Why?
44.
Because you put it on the.
I think Sense8 just has a positive supporting community.
Yeah.
Because it's a positive supporting show.
Yeah, it's a good show. I love that show.
So, yes, I think the next one should have other things that we talk about.
Yeah, we'll talk. Let's do that. I'm gonna take some notes about what I hear on the radio. That's really interesting to me, about the daily events, about the society today and the elections and all that stuff that we hear about on the radio. Like for example, that you're right. We do really need to improve our vocabulary.
Yeah, I'm gonna focus on it.
That old piece of that old artifact that ISIS destroyed, that was 3D printed back to life.
No way.
At a smaller level. On a smaller. It's going to tour the world. It's called the Arch of Triumph.
You guys should know that
From,
I'm completely fucking up this mic stand right now.
What did you do? Is it falling?
Yeah.
Why do you suck at this?
I put my weight on it.
You're hitting yourself in the head with it.
Before we get sidetracked, Remy and I, we mentioned it like loosely at the beginning. We recorded
The beginning of what? Today or?
Yeah, today. We attempted to record an episode in a sushi bar, and it was going so well. And we're gonna do it again soon.
Yeah, we're gonna do that again.
Because if the mic hadn't failed, and aside from the embarrassing fact that we had these things in our face, it was gonna be great.
Yeah, it was gonna be good. We're gonna do that next week.
We're gonna do that. Oh, next week?
Yeah, we just shouldn't.
Oh yeah, next week.
Let's just make it next time and talk about what we've heard and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool, guys. Thanks for listening to the weekly rant of Remy and Nima. We're constantly improving our product, and we are just having fun doing so. So thanks for listening, and I'm Remy.
I'm Nima.
Goodbye.